Let her rip. 13th letter to the cipher. This is your brother once again, and I hope you all are doing well. This here is a snowy Sunday. Lots of snow, okay? Lots of snow. So if you are in Chicago, or if you are in Wisconsin, or Minnesota, not Minnesota, you got lots of snow, okay? But we're used to that. We're used to that weather around here like that, okay? Hope you all are doing well. I know many of you all have been keeping up with the playoffs. I hope that your favorite team wins, whomever you are rooting for, okay? And speaking of sports, meaning being athletic, for the last 10 days, I have been working to get myself back in shape like I used to be. So I want all of you viewers out there to join me in this great quest to uplift your physical being, okay? You with me? And like I said, I've been doing it for 10 days. Just try it with me for 2 weeks. And at the end of this month, let's see where you're at. So if you're in, make a commitment to yourself tonight that every day you will do some type of physical activity for 15 minutes. And that's for the beginners. Me, myself, I can go a long time. I just haven't, worked my body in a while. But whatever you do it. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do it. And I promise you, within the next 10 days or the next 2 weeks, in this case, your body will be feeling a lot better. And just think about it. Most of the time that when we get older, like me, I'm 50 right now. I don't feel like I'm 50. I feel like maybe I'm in my 30s. That's because I keep active. And as long as you keep active, even if you're at the age of 60, I know some men that are 60 that make 20-year-olds, he can keep up with them. Okay. So let's work to improve our health, and let's get on that. Let's get on that physical plane roll. Okay. What's next in on the menu here? Reparations. A lot of people talking about reparations again, and I don't understand why the white folks just don't give the black people reparations. I mean, you got the Japanese got reparations, the Germans got reparations, the Italians got reparation. Obama gave the Jews reparations, but not his own. He even gave the Jews reparations, but not his own. So that should tell you a lot about all of those people who went and voted for Obama. He wasn't or did not have your best interest in hand. Okay, everybody else got it except you. Everybody got it. Immigrants got it. Homos got it. Immigrants did a lot of it though. The LBGT, homos, all that. And like I say, he was the one who signed the Homo Bill into Act. I'm just saying, for those of you who voted for Obama and you voted him in there and forgot about what he was supposed to do for you, or you forgot about what you were supposed to ask him for. Okay, how about that? Okay. What else here? Oh, the burning church, the white boy burning churches. Okay, and this is nothing new. White men have been burning churches, have been burning crosses since black folk have been recorded here in America under slavery. Because as I stated before in prior videos, black people were already here. Some of us was already here. But for those of us who didn't, and when we got here, and after they finished enslaving everybody else that was here, okay, and they gave you this Christianity thing, and then you had the KKK come and burn crosses in front of your lawns, in front of the lawn of black people, that told you then that your religion didn't mean anything. You even came over here on a ship named Jesus for those who are Christians. You came here on a ship named Jesus, okay? And you looking for Jesus to help you now. Jesus couldn't help you then. I'm just saying. And apparently, Jesus couldn't help that church or churches that that white boy just burned. Okay. Just like Jesus did not help those kids and family members that was in that bombing in Birmingham back in the 60s. Okay. I mean, about 2 months ago, we had something about the people overseas at the mosque and people getting killed. The gunman killed all of those um, Muslim people over there at the mosque. So Jesus and Allah have no power over their enemy. So why do you continue to subscribe to that type of philosophy? I'm just saying. Um, Easter's coming up. Easter is another economic holocaust for Black people. Okay. Every holiday in America here is a economic holocaust for Black people. And if you have not got on that frequency of trying to save yourself and do something for self, you will continue to be a victim of the economic holocaust that takes place in your community and from your wallet and bank account to someone else's in an instant. Paid today, broke tomorrow. All about Easter. And what is Easter? I mean, really, what is it for? I'm talking to my Christian family out there right now because they are the ones that celebrate Easter. Okay. And from my research and from what I know about Easter, Easter is supposed to be the following Sunday after the full moon of the spring equinox. Okay. And normally that comes in March. And this year, if I'm not mistaken, it came March 24th. So why do they have Easter here in April? And it's ironic because they go back and forth, March and April, March and April. Now check this scenario out. Now, if they say Easter represents Jesus and his resurrection, okay? Now, this Friday is supposed to be Good Friday, okay? That's coming up, and this was supposedly the day that Jesus was crucified, okay? Now, if Jesus was crucified this day, why do you keep switching it from March to April? March to April. I mean, did he die both times, or can you get your story right? Did he die in March or did he die in April? Okay. And furthermore, with your Easter thing, you say that he was crucified Friday, but he resurrected on the third day. Okay. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist or anything. You know, I just try to use my common sense to the best of my ability most of the time. Okay. But if Jesus got crucified on a Friday and you say he resurrected on the third day, okay, you think about that. Now, if I borrow $5 from you Friday and I say that I will give it back to you in 3 days, what day would it be? Let's count the 3 days from Friday. Saturday would be 1 day, Sunday would be 2 days, and Monday would be 3 days. So how did Jesus resurrect on a Sunday? I'm just saying. Easter. Now, if you look at what they do at the White House on Monday, okay, they have the kids out there with the Easter egg hunt. They don't do it Sunday, they do it Monday. But they got you paying all of your Jesus money on Sunday. It's crazy. I mean, I just don't understand at this point in time 2019 that you still have people walking around here looking to spend their money on Easter. And please don't tell me about no Easter bunny, okay? That don't have anything to do with no damn bunny and no egg. It doesn't. That represents spring. Doesn't have, you understand? I'm just saying. Y'all think about that though. But moving right along to the next topic, and that is going to be the purpose of one or us or you or them. The purpose of having knowledge, and to be ignorant while we live in a universe that is full of knowledge and we don't learn it or try to understand it, that within itself becomes a sin because it's all there for you. Everything in nature has a purpose. The stars, the moon, the sun all have a purpose, and they all perform their purpose. Ants, bees. Have you all looked at ants and bees? Ants and bees are phenomenal species. And I tell you why. Have you looked at how they are organized? How they are organized and how the queen ant, not the king ant, the queen ant, and how she rules and how her clan is in obedience or automatically knows what needs to be done without her saying anything. They are organized. Bees are organized. Have you looked at how bees get the honey out the honeycombs and all of that stuff and how they make it? It's very interesting. But like I said, if you look at them, they are organized in the workings that they are performing to achieve one goal. And they are working together. They are not fighting one another. They are not killing one another. They are not shooting one another. They are actually helping one another, serving one another to build for themselves to become the giant of bees. Think about that. Now, sadly, the current state or the condition in which Black people are in, our intelligence and actions are lower than that of the bees and ants. Think about that. Incredible. Ants and bees are smarter than the Black man and woman that's here in America. That is incredible. All around you, you have people that don't like you. They actually surround you. They actually come and put businesses in your community. They really don't like you, but they like your money and they know that you are foolish enough to spend it because you're too silly enough to not build something for yourself. PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder. That's what Black people got right now. Post-traumatic slave disorder. If we don't get some sense about ourselves, we will be doomed. As our ancestors told us, as our past leaders told us, like Garvey, like Drew Ali, like Elijah Muhammad, like Malcolm, even the minister before he went off into the Scientology thing. Okay, but it was always to do for self. So there is no big question about what you should do for yourself. And like I say, the white man, he should just go ahead and give us reparations anyway. Okay, they should just go ahead and give us reparations because half of us are just going to give it right back anyway. I'm just saying. They might as well give it to us. But I really want you to think about also why they won't. Maybe it's because you are still a slave according to their constitution, as I spoke about in my last video or two. So if you haven't looked at, I believe it's Black History 49, U.S. Constitution, please go view that piece, okay? But we are doomed if we don't get some sense about ourselves. Think about it. If we don't, we will be hungry, naked, outdoors, imprisoned. And imprisoned means what? According to the amendment number 13, being a slave. 50 million Black people across America, grade school, high school, colleges, universities, still ignorant. Still ignorant. Go to church, get your Jesus fix. Go to the mosque, get your Allah fix. And then what happens? Boom! Oh, you go up in flames, okay? Ignorant. Your Jesus nor your Allah has power over their own enemies, okay? So what should that tell you? What should that tell you? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. Ignorant. And the quality of your knowledge and education is your measuring stick against you. Real talk. There's an old cliche, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. Well, the same thing is with your knowledge, especially after you say that you are educated. Now, if you are educated yet are not producing, that means that your education is useless to your growth and development. How many college degrees do we have out here? How many businesses do we have in our community out here? Purpose of knowledge. And yes, the educational system is number one suspect, okay? But the purpose of knowledge is to serve, is to build, and to become a God. That's right. The purpose of knowledge is to serve, to build, and to become a God. And if you don't think that you have the capability to become a God, then this conversation or platform is not for you. Go back to your Jesus and your Muhammad man over there. Okay? Think about that. If you don't believe that you have God, if you don't believe that you have the potential to become a God, then your scripture that you say you abide by and believe in, you actually contradict it right there, because in both books, even in the Torah, it tells you that you are a God and that you will be God-like. And I mean, in the story of Adam and Eve and Satan, even Satan told Adam that he will become God-like if he ate off that tree, right? Tree of knowledge of good and evil. But God told Adam, according to the story, God told Adam that if he eat that tree, he shall surely die. Now, after Adam did eat of that tree, what did God say? God spoke to his homies, whoever the us is that we already spoke about. He said, he has become one of us. Purpose of knowledge. Now, if you don't believe that you are a God or have the potential to become God-like, because I know some of you still can't accept that you are a God already. You're just not using your common sense because, as I stated, you've been robbed of it. But there have been people who have come 100 years before that has been leaving the same message and telling you how to get there and how to reach that goal. But being robbed of your common sense, you can't seem to get there. Now, if you was to ask the white man who is God, he'll tell you, I'm God. White man will tell you that he is God. And you know what? He got proof that he's God. I'm going to tell you why. Because the white man does what? The white man serves himself. The white man builds for himself. Okay? But not only that, the white man makes everything that he needs for his own existence. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? He creates everything he makes, because he don't create because that which he uses to make was already here. So he extracts from that which was already created. So he didn't create, but he makes everything that he needs to sustain him. And then on top of that, he capitalizes off it by selling it to you. Okay. Even the black man, what was his name? Lewis Lattimore, invented the telephone. He was the black god. It wasn't Alexander Bell, Graham Bell. It was the black man, Lewis Lattimore, the god of the phone. But guess what? He sold, he sold his rights, sold his inventions, and lived a rich life. Computers. Well, we already know who came up with the internet. The black man came up with the internet. Now, he still got his money, rich. They bought him off too. You see? So they didn't created, but they made. And then they bought. Okay. Even with the cars. Okay. Ford was the first manufacturer. He was the first manufacturer, but the black man, two brothers that used to work for Chrysler, were the first ones to make an automobile, not Mr. Ford. He was the first mass producer of cars, and even asked, what's his name? George Washington Carver for some advice on how to extract rubber from peanuts. So now do you get what I'm saying? So who's really the God? If you're not a God, how are you all inventing these things? How did you invent the stove? How did you invent the refrigerator? How did you invent the ice cream scooper? How did you invent the elevator? Black people. But the white man will tell you he's God. First heart surgeon, black people. In fact, the father of medicine himself, Imhotep, was black. I wish you would tell Imhotep that he was not a god. I want you to tell the pharaohs of Kemet, the black kings and queens, that they were not gods. I'm just saying. And if you don't believe that the white man thinks or knows that he's God, look at the Jesus Christ that he gave you. I'm just saying. Look at the angels. What color are they? And speaking of which, something else that my Christian family out here needs to know, newsflash, the Catholic Church over there in Ghana had a Catholic church over there in Ghana, in Akubulan, just had a statue made with a white angel whose feet are on the body of a black devil that's under him. One foot is in his private part and the other foot is on his face. Black devil, white angel crushing him. In Akubulan, you think about that. You think about that. For those who talk about, well, let's go back to Africa. Well, Africans over there, they don't have it no way better than we have it over here. In fact, some of them don't even have running water. They can't even get their own gold and diamonds that's in their own land. So what are we or you going to go back over there and do when we can't even get together here? I'm just saying. Now, granted, for those of us who want to roll, let's roll. For those of us who want to stay, let's stay. But all of us not going to roll. I mean, you can't even get your cousin to get off the couch and go help you do some Black Power work. So how you going to get, you understand what I'm saying? You can't get him from watching the basketball game. And it's playoff times. Are you crazy? But anyway, back to what I was talking about. And I left off with Adam. And when Adam stopped feeding, from the source in which he was created, Adam aborted the mission of becoming God-like. And he failed. And he became of a carnal mind. You understand what I'm saying? Incredible. Purpose of knowledge. If you're not building, if you're not serving yourself, there's no way that you can feel or even think that you're a God. And you're thinking that way because you're not building anything. You're not serving yourself. You're serving everyone else except yourself. And when we become slaves to our own vanities and become victims of an economic holocaust, we begin to think upon the lowest plane of existence. And we become animals. And we begin to think like animals. And then we wonder why other people of the world want to treat us like animals. Now, if you think I'm lying, just look outside your window and tell me, what do you see? You tell me. You have the capabilities to possess divine qualities and knowledge. But we have failed in that art because of our actions that we display towards one another. Yeah. If we can start being right to one another, that'd be a great move, because being right towards one another helps stabilizes the mind in the right frame of state of being, and it helps you balance out your spirit. Maya, having some balance in your life. But think about it. If you go to Little Mexico, Little Italy, Little Chinatown, now these people are educated. You know why? Because when you look in these communities that I just spoke about, and other communities like the Indian community or the Arab community, guess what? They run their own businesses. They run their own businesses. Educated. And like I said, many millionaires, most millionaires never even went to college. They just learn how to count money and how to build. And that's something we must learn how to do with all of these degrees and everything that we say that we have. And we don't have anything. And then we go and send our children to school to learn about a white Goldilocks and about a white Dick and Jane. And then you wonder why Your children not thinking straight. That's because someone is controlling the diameter of your thinking, determining the circumference of your knowledge. Did you get that? Because someone is controlling the diameter of your thinking while at the same time determining your circumference of your knowledge. I'm just saying. You think about that, and that really has to stop. And like I said, we have to accept some responsibility for that. I got some numbers to read off here real fast, and then I'm going to get out your way. I'm going to let you enjoy your Sunday. But I just had to drop that on you. 16% Black people in Tennessee. 82% Black people in Detroit. 18.7 Black people in Virginia. 21.9% Black people in North Carolina. 21.3% Black people in Delaware. 26% Black people in Alabama. 27% Black people in South Carolina, and the numbers are decreasing. I guess Black people are waking up and leaving that red state. Okay. 29.2 Maryland. 31% Georgia. 32% what is that state? What is that state? What is that state? Louisiana. And 37% of Black people in Mississippi. I just read to you the 10 states that has the most concentrated Black people. And ironically, there's this place in Alabama that's called Black Alabama, Alabama. Like you have Montgomery, Alabama. It's called Black Alabama, Alabama. And ironically, 95% of those people who stay in Black Alabama, Alabama are Caucasian. But I threw these numbers out to you for a reason. And I threw out the states as well in regards to the concentrated number of Black people in these states. And we still don't have nothing. How many millions of Black people is that? And we still don't have anything. If I was a white man, I would go ahead and give you reparations because I know I'm getting it right back anyway. Because half of you don't know what to do with it. It's make it 3/4 of you going to give it right back anyway. You're going to get you a Cadillac and some jewelry. And maybe a condo, and it's over with for you. It's over with. So if you're listening out there, Mr. White Man, please give the Black people reparations. Okay, please give reparations to Black people. I'm telling you, it'll work, man. Let us get that, okay? Run that right away. ASAP. But like I said, Black folks, all of these percentages in these states, these 10 states that is concentrated with Black people, we don't have a thing. We're not even capable of manufacturing our own human necessities. Now, what if the white man stops selling you that shit? What you gonna do then? Use newspaper? I mean, it works and all, but I'm just saying. Soaps, toothpaste, Pampers for your babies. You still having babies, right? So why don't we invest some money? I know some Black people work at some pamper companies, okay? And they know how to make fucking Pampers. I know that for an actual fact. There's not nothing that we can't produce for ourselves. We go to work for these people every day to make the products for them so they can sell it and pay us. I'm just saying. I'm just going to leave you all with that, right? And I hope that you all got something out of it. And like I said, we're going to work on that 2-week workout thing with me just to see how you do. I didn't let you know until 10 days after I started, so I would have myself on track. Okay. So I got myself on track and I'm really working it. So I invite you to participate with me for the next 2 weeks until the end of the month, and let's see where you're at. And if there's anything that I have said that you like or that you can use to uplift yourself, uplift your friends, family members, community, by all means, press that like and that subscribe button. Please, by all means. Family would appreciate that. Okay. And as always, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be able to do this. And I tip my hat to you. Okay. And in closing, stay away from the popo. Don't drink and drive. Have some love, peace, and respect for yourself. And stay sucker free. With that, you all, I want you all to have a great Sunday evening. And I wish you all well. Peace, love, and 13th letter.